my beloved child. I know you're tired, not just physically, but tired in your soul. You're carrying more than anyone knows. You smile in front of others, but deep inside you're worried about your health, your finances, your future. I see you lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering, will I ever feel whole again? Will I make it through this month? And in this quiet moment, I want you to know I am with you. Okay? When your body feels weak and your mind is clouded with fear, remember, I am the God who heals. I am the one who spoke the stars into being, who knit you together in your mother's womb, and who can renew what seems broken. I have not turned my face from you. In fact, I'm closer than you think, closer than the pain in your chest or the numbers in your bank account. Nico, let me take you back to a woman named Leah. She was a widow in a small village, left alone with 2 children after her husband's sudden passing. With barely enough to buy bread, she would pray each morning, God, I don't need riches, I just need enough to survive. Each day she'd go out, gathering scraps, sometimes fasting so her children could eat. But Leah never stopped believing, even in her emptiness. She whispered, God will provide. One day, a stranger knocked on her door with 3 bags of groceries, sent by a church that didn't even know her. It was the start of breakthrough. Later, she got a small job, then a home, and finally, peace. You see, I used her suffering to reveal my provision. And just like Leah, I will show up for you too. I know every unpaid bill. I know the doctor's report you're afraid to talk about. I know how the world says you'll never recover or it's over for you. But I am not the world. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way. That pain in your chest, that worry about your next meal or your child's school fees, give it to me. I am not too far. I am not too late. I have a plan that stretches far beyond what you see today. You weren't created to live in constant fear or under the weight of debt. You weren't meant to live in sickness, dragging your body through another day. That is not the story I wrote for you. I wrote a story of healing, of wholeness, of abundance, not greed, but enough. Enough to rest, enough to bless, enough to live in peace. There was once a man named Elias. He had worked hard all his life. Early mornings, late nights, calloused hands, aching bones. He gave everything to provide for his family. But one day, his body failed him. A stroke left him paralyzed on one side. The same hands that once built houses could no longer even hold a spoon. His savings ran out. Quickly, his home, once full of laughter, grew silent. Fear settled in like a thick fog. He asked me, why, Lord? Why now? Why when I finally thought I'd made it? And I answered him not with words, but with presence. Through nurses who cared for him like their own father. Through a neighbor who dropped off food every week. Through a grandson who learned how to bathe him and feed him. Elias couldn't run anymore, but he could pray. And in the stillness of his suffering, he heard my voice more clearly than ever before. Even now, I told him, you are valuable. Even in this body, you are not a burden. You are beloved. And slowly, his spirit grew stronger. His laughter returned. His body, over time, began to heal. And though he never regained full strength, he regained something more powerful. His peace. That, my child, is what I want for you too. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of my blessing. You don't have to earn my healing or buy my favor. I give it freely to the tired, the broken, the scared, the ashamed. You are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. Your story doesn't end in sickness or poverty. It ends in restoration. And right now, I am already moving on your behalf. I'm stirring the hearts of people you've never met who will open doors for you. I'm shifting resources into your path. I'm orchestrating divine appointments. You don't see it yet, but breakthrough is coming. Like a dam about to burst, like morning light cracking through night's hold. Your healing is rising. Your provision is coming. Your body will be restored, cell by cell, breath by breath. Your energy will return. Your bones will dance again. Your laughter will echo again. And your hands, those beautiful hands, will work again, bless again, praise again your finances. I have seen every sacrifice, every time you gave, even when you barely had. Every time you tithed out of faith, every coin you handed to someone in need. I remember it all, and I do not forget generous hearts. I am sending favor your way. Creative ideas, business opportunities, surprising solutions. You will not live in lack forever. You will rise. You will rebuild. And hear me on this. You will not do it alone. I am your provider. No, not just spiritually, but practically. I am the God who sent manna from heaven, who filled jars of oil that never ran out, who fed multitudes with just a few loaves. I still do miracles. I will multiply your resources. I will stretch what's in your hands, and I will never let the righteous be forsaken. Let go of the fear that says, what if I never recover? Let go of the whisper that says, you'll always be poor. Let go of the lie that says, you're too far gone. Those are not my words. My word says, Smirdiak, I will supply all your needs. My grace is sufficient for you. By my stripes you are healed. You shall not lack any good thing. So breathe. Even now, my spirit is hovering over your home. Healing is entering your bloodstream. Peace is flooding your heart. Strength is returning to your limbs. Hope is rising like the dawn. Financial miracles are on the way. You're going to open the mailbox and find an unexpected check. You're going to get that call for the job you didn't think you'd get. You're going to find discounts you didn't expect. People will give without even knowing why, because I moved their hearts. I am your shepherd. I am your shepherd, and you shall not want. Keo, there was a woman named Miriam. She had battled chronic illness for over years. She spent every penny she had on doctors, treatments, specialists, yet nothing worked. Her body weakened, but her spirit refused to give up. People began to avoid her. Some said she was cursed. She felt invisible, unwanted, forgotten. But Miriam did not stop believing. One day, she heard that I was passing by, weak, trembling, ashamed. She pushed through the crowd. She didn't ask for a conversation. She didn't shout for attention. She simply reached out, just enough to touch the edge of my garment. And in that moment, she was healed. I turned and said, "Daughter, your faith has made you whole." I am still that same God. I still heal in unexpected moments. I still respond to quiet faith. You may feel like Miriam, tired, spent, wondering if healing will ever come. But hear me, your healing is nearer than you think. You are one prayer away, one touch of faith away, one Jesus, help me away. Your miracle is not out of reach. It's already on the way, But healing is not just about your body. Some wounds live deep in your soul. You've been carrying emotional scars from childhood, from betrayal, from abuse, from abandonment. You've hidden them behind smiles, behind achievements, behind silence. But I see them, and I say to you now, let them come into the light, I want to heal the broken places that no doctor can reach. I want to restore your heart, your peace, your joy. I want to mend what was shattered inside of you. You've been functioning in pain for so long that you've forgotten what wholeness feels like. But I have not forgotten. You were never meant to live in survival mode. You were meant to thrive. And I will heal your finances too, not just with money, but with wisdom, with favor, with discipline, with divine connections. I will teach you how to build again, how to steward, how to multiply what you have. I will bring the right mentors, the right strategies, the right opportunities. You will not live paycheck to paycheck forever. You will not worry about every bill. You will not wake up with anxiety about how to feed your children. I will provide unexpectedly, abundantly, supernaturally, but I will also walk with you practically. I will guide your hands. I will help you rebuild. For some, the blessing will look like sudden overflow. For others, it will look like steady steps forward. Don't compare your process to someone else's. Just trust the provider. I am not just sending money. I'm sending transformation. There is a financial reset coming to your household. I am removing the devourer. I am closing doors to financial loss and opening doors to financial growth. Your gifts will make room for you. What was a side project will become a full-time blessing. What you thought was over will bloom again. I'm not just sending increase. I'm preparing you to handle it. I will show you how to invest wisely, how to budget with peace, how to give with joy. You will bless others without fear. You will sow into ministries, feed the hungry, sponsor the broken, because you will know what it's like to be rescued, and you will want to be the hands that rescue others. And let me say this clearly, there is no shame in needing help. Even the strongest sometimes fall. Even the most faithful sometimes struggle. Your situation is not a reflection of your worth. You are not a failure. You are not forgotten. You are not cursed. You are in process. You are in the middle of a transformation. Let your pride go. Let the guilt fall. Let hope rise again, because the God who opened the Red Sea, the God who fed the prophet with ravens, the God who multiplied oil for a widow in debt, the God who healed the blind and raised the dead, that same God is fighting for you right now. I will not let this storm destroy you. I will not let this illness define you. I will not let this debt defeat you. Your breakthrough will not be delayed much longer. You are about to step into what I've been preparing behind the scenes. And when it happens, when the door opens, when the check clears, when the pain vanishes, you will know this was God. This could only be God, and you will praise me not just for what I did, but for how I stayed with you in the waiting. So take a deep breath, dry your eyes, lift your head. Your healing is in motion. Your finances are aligning. Your body is being restored. Your peace is returning. Your joy is awakening. And your testimony is forming. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where I need you to be, because I don't waste pain. I use it. I don't waste waiting. I prepare through it. I don't abandon my children. I carry them, and I am carrying you. Subscribe for God Message now first.